Good morning, YouTube. It's Trader Rob. Today is Friday, March 27th, Cash Profit Friday. Let's have a morning. Let's have a day. Hope everybody's having a fantastic morning. Good start to the trading day. Last day of the trading week. Almost done here with March. Keyword for profit giveaway today is profits. Profits. It's right there on the main screen at the top. Type that into the YouTube chat, and at 10:45, I will pick a winner if I'm in profit here today, which is the goal. Hey P, good morning. Paul, good morning. Sola Zero, good morning. Mom, good morning. Paul, good morning. I think, Paul, you were the first one to comment. Nordic, Karen, Rob, William, Keith, Steve, Mo, good morning all. Let's have a morning. Take a look here at the ES. All right, so some areas that I am interested in here this morning. We got a big piece of unbalanced volume at the 23,767 down to the 23,719. I have identified a small scalp here at the 23,719, targeting the 23,711. Now, the nice one with this one is that we could take a scalp here for a quick TP, and then as we are entering into a much larger unbalanced volume area for sellers, I'll switch over to my 60 or 120 range footprint chart, see if we can possibly find a bigger trade out of that one. On the ES, so the ES, we've got something brewing here. We do have an unbalanced volume area sitting at the 65.68 down to the 65.53. But more interestingly, that I already shared with my Signal members, we've got a pretty large, well, not a pretty large, we have a weekly band that is actually formed. These are much rarer to find. These are the bands that I give on my Sunday morning video. And I give a report once a week that comes out on Sunday, highlighting these larger unbalanced volume areas. These are extremely difficult for the market to get through. And that band sits pretty much from the 65.68, let's just call it 65.70 to the 65.30s. So this is something to definitely watch out for here if we can get a move here on the ES to the upside, which is quite possible. All right, so we kind of got an early scalping band right here on the NQ. I'd like to give the market about 10 minutes here before I start taking trades, but I'll just, if we continue to melt to the downside, it'll be one for us to watch if we get a retracement back up here. We do have another one sitting right here. Much better area, but this is right at the open. So those of you know, I don't put a lot of weight on unbalanced volume at the open. A lot of impulse buying or selling right at the open, and this volume starts to become a little bit unpredictable. So I'll give the market here another 5 more minutes, see if we don't get another decent melt to the downside here, and we might be able to take this scalping opportunity here. Again, keyword for 5% session profits today is profits. Just type in profits into the YouTube chat. You just got to type it in once. My software will automatically remove duplicates, so no need for that. And the winner will be called at 10:45 here. Hopefully we get into some good profits here this morning. Currently, my monthly totals $6,900. Came back pretty fiercely from that Wednesday disaster of a trading session. Let's switch here to the 1 minute. So there's the tap. There's TP. Unfortunately, market couldn't wait a couple more minutes for me to take a trade, but nice reaction right there. I can get rid of this guy. A little unfortunate, but market couldn't wait a couple more minutes for me. Do have this piece of volume that is unbalanced, but this is incorporating that open move. So I'm just gonna put that out there here just to kind of see how market reacts in this area. We did break structure from there. I think at any other point this would be a decent opportunity here for a scalp to the downside. A lot of seller unbalanced volume sitting here. ATR on the 5 minutes at 37. On the 1 minute, it's at about 20. This zone up here is a little bit more established than obviously this one. This one was incorporating a lot of that 8:30 market open move to the downside. Again, we could see a reaction here, but the probability is just a little bit less. You know, would have to take a absolutely gorgeous setup here to maybe on the lower range where I don't need to take on so much risk. Looking at the ES, ES has got a pretty decent pocket of liquidity sitting at the 65s, so that's going to be right here. These are stops, so we'll put this here in green. This is a stop loss area right here at the 45s, not major positioning sizing. And I promise you my volume profile is on the chart, but had a little bit of an issue here. This actually started from last night. Added the order book up on the right-hand side of my screen. Figured that might be an easy way to, not an order book, but depth of market for level 2. And for some reason, my volume indicator did not like that change that I did, so might have to reset this chart over the weekend. What my plan is starting next week is I'm going to dedicate one of my screens here. I've got 7 screens up in front of me, and I do have Bookmap that is hanging off of my ceiling down here in my studio. It's like a 50-inch TV that's got my ES and NQ Bookmap. And what I plan on doing, that's running off of my laptop, which is what I use when I travel. It's an insane laptop. But my plan is to put Bookmap on one of my screens to my right, where, if you guys know that, you know, on the NQ I can split screen. Well, what I'll do is I'll have a screen for the entire screen with Bookmap on there, the NQ and the ES. So I don't have to be constantly drawing these boxes for you guys to kind of see where the resting liquidity might be sitting at. Good job, Tiger. Did take a small loss last night on one of my signals. It was it's kind of brutal, actually. We missed TP there by about three ticks. Let's see if I can bring that up here. Completed signals, this guy right here. So the setup was a short at the 23,864, targeting the 23,858. And price action decided to take my entry. You can see the red candle right here. Wish I could zoom this out a little bit, but missed TP1 here by about three ticks. Swept my stop by a few points just to come right back down and take out TP1 and TP2. So a little frustrating. Morning, J-Loves. I'm also going to ask for 50 likes on the stream today. 50 likes. There's usually about 80 comments for my cash profit giveaway, so a few hundred people watching. Might as well ask for the likes. I appreciate it. You can see the delta just obviously increasing. This was a pretty big area here of some unbalanced volume. Again, this was the one that incorporated that market open. So this would probably be like more of a B- setup. In my opinion, this one up here is the stronger of the bands right now. So ES just went through some liquidity here. So did the NQ. They got the 45s and the 50s right here. This does look like we're going to get a flip here. I'm not going to take this trade. I'm just going to try to concentrate on the A+ setups here today. But this would be a setup here to go short if this was to close as a red candle with that positive delta. That is my entry confirmation, which pretty much just means that buyers are trying to push this market up. Sellers are still absorbing everything that the buyers are giving them and still pushing the market down. Usually it's a good sign of a reversal, and the higher you go on the time frame, the stronger that the confirmation could be. So my higher time frame is the 120 range, which again is equivalent to 120 ticks or 30 points, however you want to look at it. So for a box to close, it's got to be 30 points. So I've got the 30, I've got the 60. So this right here closed out as a flip on the lower time frame, the 60 range. Again, it's equivalent to about 15 points. My stop here would have been 15 points, and I would have been targeting about 22 to 25 points based on what ATR is currently looking at. But again, this zone, as I've mentioned a few times here this morning, is not as high probability as I would like to see it. And the reason for that is at the market open, you're going to get a lot of impulse buyers and sellers. So that's not necessarily just position sizing or big institutional positioning. That's a lot of just, smaller, big firms. But that to me is not as a reliable of a signal as an unbalanced volume area. It's something that's a little bit more established in the market, which is sitting kind of up here. So I don't know, I'll put somebody in charge here in the YouTube stream to keep an eye on how many likes are on the stream. We've got to get to 50 here today. And it's frustrating to see them work out. I get it. We had a nice little scalping opportunity here that we did not take because of my little pause there in the market. Obviously an unbalanced volume here, sitting here. This obviously would have worked out pretty nicely. Actually, I say nicely, but if you see your first confirmation here was right here, I would have had my stop right here. So I would have gotten taken out. And then you get what I would consider to be the even better entry confirmation, which is a sweep here. You get big positive delta, red footprint, and then it melts from there. And this is a continuation play for me here. This would be a continuation short. I would get super aggressive here if I was still in that short. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it, bud. I think this week has been a prime example of, you know, sticking to your plan and staying patient. If you guys remember, I went into the trading day on Wednesday, up 7,000 for the month. You know, I set a goal for myself. It's not like a journaling goal. It's more of a goal just to keep track for the live streams. On my P&L, I set a goal of 10K per month, and that's spread out through 26, 27 funded accounts. So for those of you that are new to the channel, I trade in staggered groups of funded accounts between Apex, Tradeify, and Lucid. And then I also have 2 cash accounts that are attached to all of my trades. So that's been the goal. Last month, I think I got to about 3/4 of my goal there. But I started off the trading day on Wednesday up about 7 grand. I ended off the session on YouTube Wednesday for a loss of 9 grand. It was the second day of increased position sizing for me. So this week I did increase my position size. And ended up taking a trade on the NQ and the ES, both from the same unbalanced volume area. Both of them stopped out on me. They were both pretty big trades, so the P&L swing was pretty big. It was, well, not pretty big. It was pretty huge for me. And as I stated in the live stream, I felt like it was, you know, as much as I hated seeing all my PAs, my cash, everything was down like $900 for that day. Each one of them. Not all of them, but the ones that were trading in that group for the day. So it was about 8 or 9 of them. So as bad as it was to see the P&L, I also took it as a, you know, I made the decision to increase position sizing, so I knew that the numbers were going to start getting bigger. Obviously, in a normal day, I wouldn't take 3 unbalanced volume area, bigger trades, you know, especially if it was loss. But when you had 2 losses on 2 trades on 2 instruments at the same time, and both of them ended up getting stopped out, it, you know, it was kind of a little kink to the armor there. But the armor actually held up because I felt like it was a good opportunity for me to realize what it feels like to have those type of losing days. And I documented on a video from that evening that I did get into from the exact same unbalanced volume area. So a box like this, you know, we had about 15 of these 120 range boxes, which are all about 30 points, all of them sitting in this band. So it was clear consolidation. And we finally got a sweep up. We got a very nice delta flip, took a short, and took about 74 points on that short. And then after that, took another trade, another short for about 22 points that evening, to bring down my loss for the entire day to about $3,000, which is about an R, one R for me, one lot of risk for me. So brought the day down from like -900 per account to about 220, 240, somewhere in that area. So that was a huge, that was kind of a huge boost for the overall position sizing strategy that I've increased. God, I really wish I would have been able to get into that short right there. That would have been an absolute gorgeous, beautiful one. Lucky viewer would have probably taken home 250 bucks or something like that on that short. That was a nice one. I would have targeted at least 45 points on that one. But anyways, it's all in hindsight. So next day came back, had a decent trading day. Forgot what it was, like $1,400, and ended off the day yesterday up $2,900, which was really nice. So it kind of brought me right back to pretty close to where I was sitting at the beginning of Wednesday. And there's a couple trains of thought there. You can obviously revenge trade your way out of it, but typically the revenge trading will not only put you worse in a hole, but most likely will start blowing accounts. But it was good for me to feel the increased position sizing. So I kind of now just absorb it like how I normally would absorb a $3,000 losing day, you know, which is more in line with my reduced position sizing from before. You know, $3,000 would be like a max loss for me. My typical wins, I would say my typical losses on a stream is probably around $1,200 to $1,300. My typical win is around $1,800, $1,400 to $1,800. And like I mentioned, as long as your wins are bigger than your losses, and at the end of the month you see the positive returns, then there's no reason to be overanalyzing your strategy, trying to add different indicators, you know, watching other streamers that, you know, that find a magical opening range, an orb trade, or some type of system. You want a system that performs in all markets. And I was talking to my Signal group. You know, we started about 30 minutes prior to the stream, and I told them that, you know, these last few months, I would say since December is when I really documented it pretty on the videos and just in my own journaling. I would say since December, price action's been very, very difficult in the markets. On the ES, the NQ, gold's been a little bit easier, but, you know, gold obviously went through a big period even till today where a lot of the firms weren't allowing you to trade it. And the markets have been, they've been tough because, and I can kind of see it, I've got a lot of different data points that I can see. And one of the big things that I noticed, so we've got a lot of unbalanced volume areas now sitting here. Let me just, got a nice one sitting right here. So we got a nice one sitting at the 23,568 to the 20, targeting the 23,554 with a stop at the 584. Let's see what else we got. We're actually coming into one right here. So let's see if they kind of bust through there, even though this is very wicky right here. This wicked already out, so that's no longer valid. We got a pretty decent one right here too. Might not have time to draw this one out. Alright, so I got a few areas here. Let's see if we can set this one up here. go, buddy. I got that one set up. Let's see if we get a little early bounce here at a nice little scalp to the downside. Wouldn't mind seeing this exact pattern just continue. It's kind of rare that you see perfectly almost symmetrical candles like that. So we'll continue. If we can continue that exact little trend there, that'd be real nice for our trading opportunity here. Let's take a look real quick at the 120. Sellers still showing strength here. Nothing from buyers. Buyers are showing strength down here. So let's just map this guy out. Green. Get back to the NQ here. We do have some volume sitting at the 35s. So that could be an area that they target right here. Would have rather just seen a straight shot into the entry there. Don't really like this hanging around here at TP2. I'm sorry, at TP. Kind of balance this out here. But they haven't really swiped that close to entry yet. We're still probably about 6 points away. About 8. This does lower the probabilities just a little bit. I'm okay with one little retracement, but then I'd like to see a push right into entry. Buyers really didn't leave anything clean down here. They, as you can see with all of the wicks, they balanced out this move out pretty good. So there's nothing for me to find here for a long scalping opportunity in this green area. I just stopped out a good amount of people right there, thinking that we're still going long. A lot of people got into on these power bars right here. Now, if we were to break structure down here off of this move right here without rebalancing up here, which looks like they're going to do that right now, you know, there was a decent shorting scalp opportunity right here in this gray shaded area, but I would rather see them break structure down here first. So I'm going to cancel out my limit order here, and I am, if we get to price action coming back up here into the 23,527s, I'm going to come down to my 30 range chart to see if I can I just not having a good feeling on this consolidation right here. They've balanced everything out here at my take profit level. So might as well wait for a confirmation, see if we can tap into this liquidity area sitting at the 35s, get a nice little delta flip, and then take this to the downside. This guy. That's a good non-trade right there. There's a tap. Let's see them tap into that liquidity first. There's a tap. Didn't get a confirmation here yet. All right, good non-trade. Just didn't have a good feeling about this consolidation right there. Now we could take a look at this guy. See if he's a little smoother. Hey, non-account, nice to have you back, bud. Let's take a look and see if, okay, still kind of in a neutral spot here. It did leave this unbalanced right there. We should see a reaction there, which we are currently. I was just too quick to that came a little too quick. Nothing there. Got 15 minutes for initial balance to be set. Remember, get the likes to 50 today, guys. Go. Just go to entry here. You got liquidity sitting right at the 65, 66s. So hoping we just kind of tap into that liquidity, tap into my entry, and then we could get a move to the downside here. Come on, go to entry. Oh, jeez. Looks like they want to do the same thing here. Well, again, they've done a really good job of balancing out my take profit area. So I might have to switch over here to a footprint confirmation again. Just looks like the same exact setup as the last unbalanced volume area. So we'll switch over to the 30. Same scenario here. There is a pocket of liquidity sitting at the 75s. Right around here. I got nothing here to the downside either that looks appetizing. Again, great little stop run here. Everybody betting on the long here. Clear area here of stops. Second area right here. This market will get you, man. All right, 7 minutes for initial balance to be set. Again, giveaway today, the 5% session profit giveaway is going to be at 10:45 a.m. Winner needs to be present. I'll put a 2-minute timer up, and the winner has to type in the word thanks into the chat, and then we'll take it from there. So this is an area where sellers did step in. In fact, I mean, sellers did leave, excuse me, sellers did leave a spot right here. As you can see on the 120, you've got a nice little flip right here. So you can see where sellers are strong, where buyers are currently strong. Like I said, very easy stop run right here. And this looks very manipulative right now. Another move to the upside, clear the stops out, make a move. Only 30 likes on the stream, guys. Let's get it up to 50 today. Appreciate it. Big fan of Lucid funding right now. 40% off. 40% off of all their evals. You can use code TraderRob. Apex is currently 85% off on all of their new end of day accounts. I know you guys have a lot of options on different codes and influencers and people that you watch on YouTube, but if you get any value out of the stream, I appreciate it if you could use my code TraderRob. That'll be the one plug for the morning. I think for the ES, yeah, they just ran that. Okay, nothing else there on the ES. We actually got another area right here. Let's see if I can move this guy up a little bit. This one's kind of large. Really, for this one to make sense, TP's got to be here. This is a negative risk to reward here. I would say slightly. 23, 528 to the 509. Yeah, it's about 19 points of stop there. A little bigger than what I like to see. 16 points of TP. See, hopefully if we don't need all of it. But rather than taking out this stop right here, they did take it off of here. Okay. You like that spot. Again, the 23,509s, stop loss at the 23,528s, and TP at the 23,493.50. All right, let's go and take it. Don't balance this out yet. Take the entry. Take the entry. Take the entry. Don't balance out my TP yet. Come on. A little more. A little more. Ah, you motherfucker. Wow. This price action is fucking brutal. Was that a point or two? About a point and a half. telling you, it's been the story of 3 months of price action. And then the classic move here. You know, your probability now is already cut by at least a third, because now we get price action, jumps this, and even though this is a pretty big box, so I do have some area here, there's just good possibility here of just a big sweep of this liquidity area for making the drop to the downside. It is a big zone, so I don't know if they're going to necessarily, this still could work out, but we do have good liquidity sitting at the 10s, so right at the entry. I do like that a lot. Right here. What is this? All right, so initial balance has been set. Initial low is at the 23,453. And nothing here on any of the flips. Just that I see right now. Let me put this in here. Initial balance high is sitting way up there. Pretty strong move there. I wasn't even ready for that. See if we get a flip here. I'll do split screen so you guys can see the 60 range there. So on the 60, we are pretty close. We got a flip there on the 60 range. Let's bring this down just a tad. Let me see where that 60 flip happened. Right here, reduce my wrist down to here. Come on. See what ATR is currently sitting at. 22. Don't like this hanging around here. Let's go. Like to see an impulsive move off of the initial balance, which we're not getting. Let's go. Let's go. What did they leave unbalanced up here? The 83s. The 83s is where it's at. 83s sitting right here. That's a good take profit spot right there. Let's see if we can push. Come on. I don't think we got there, did we? We didn't. See any way to reduce risk here? Shit. I hate putting this right at the initial balance, right above it, but that's kind of where it needs to go. That's a 30 range. That's a 30 range, sucker. I gotta keep this guy here. Let's see on the 60 range, is there anything decent? There's not. Really nowhere else for me to put my stop. Fuck. Come on, if we can close this 60 range here in green, I can at least move my stop up here a little bit. Probably reduce about 8 or 9 points of risk here. All right, 10 points of risk now. No, that wasn't a flip. That was not a flip there. This stop loss is not in the greatest area here. Let's go. Give me a push, man. Get me out of this half crummy trade. I might get pegged here. Ah, you son of a gun. Son of a gun. This is kind of a ill move here, moving my stop here. This was not a flip, so I really should have kept my stop right here. But let's see if that would have preserved some capital or not. My stop would have been right, was sitting right here. which was the only flip in this whole sequence on the 60 range, which is why I would keep my stop loss there. This here was kind of an ill move on my part, because they could always come right back down, tap into the initial balance once more. But we'll see. We'll see if it saved capital or not. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. That was it. That was the TP right there. Stop would have held. Stop would have held perfectly there. And I said 83s. I don't know if they got, yeah, 84s. I don't know. Maybe my TP wouldn't have gotten hit. So I think I was maybe about 4 or 5 points above the 83s, which is why I said that they needed to balance out. So maybe I would have still been hoping right there for TP. Either way, not great, but all right, I'll be right back. I don't know why the first trade on these cash profit days seem to be the hardest trades for me to win. Don't know. Yeah, looks like they just needed that sweep right there. Before I went to go hit a golf ball, I was really thinking that this would be a delta flip here. The only thing that wasn't giving me much conviction of a big sustained move to the upside was the ES left a really big pocket down here at the 50s. I kind of felt like they might want to come back for that. Sorry, I'll be right here. Which is what they've been doing for the last couple of days. It's been extremely, extremely tough. They ate through that pretty quickly. Let's see, 20, a little hang up again right here. Let's see, let's put this in perspective here. This to me looks like a great area for them to rebalance everything that they just auctioned on. Actually, no, they got a bigger spot up there. They do. Not sure why they love my TP so much. They don't like my entries recently. I wish, Morgan. Wish that was the case. Thanks, Morgan. I'm down 47 pounds from November. I guess pretty much when I started the live streams. So we came right back into this seller-defined delta volume area that they repelled off right now. Again, the ES left a huge pocket down here at the 50s. So my thought was that they'd probably come back down and rebalance this here before the bigger move. Almost feel like front running this down to the liquidity area. That'd probably be a good play. This is where sellers showed strength prior. Well, let's just see if they could break that or not. Sorry, it's the wrong one. Actually, this extends up to right here. Just seems odd with such a strong push that they wouldn't balance this part out here. But I don't really have a clear entry here besides this delta band. Well, I say that, but there was some unbalanced volume sitting right there. Let's see, what did 30? 30? Yeah. Right off of that band. A pretty big flip. All right, let's see if they squeeze them here. see if they could squeeze them right here at the 64, 74, 75s. NQ's not doing anything. Let's just see here. I was right here. Yeah. So in the end, this stop loss here actually did save me about 8 points, 10 points. Because my TP was in the 20s, and the most that this spike hit was 18. Alright, let's see. Let's see if they could squeeze them here or not. You see Delta increasing a lot. Let's see if we get a flip here. We do. I'm going to take a quick stab short here. Let's see what we can try to target. What did they leave unbalanced here? Hurry, Rob, hurry, hurry, hurry. 55s looks like a good target. Where are the 55s at? It's pretty down there. But that does look like a good target. This could be a big trade. Let's see if I can get into at least... this can close as a down candle. Can maybe reduce risk here a little bit. Let's see what the 30 is showing me. This would be a great flip here. Come on. And I caught this right at the top, which would be great. Let's see if we can get a nice little dump here. So hopefully they come back down here and target this big piece of liquidity sitting down here. And I'll be right back, guys. classic bathroom break didn't help. Let's see what happened there. We're still coming after the liquidity. Alright, not much more I could do there. That was the shot. That was one of the shots that that was a really good risk to reward play there. Not gonna fall into that trap again. Trade results, 2 losers today. Don't really like this setup here anymore either because of that that swipe there. Most likely, ooh, nice. Yeah, this is really dirty. This might be one of those days to call it an early day, man. This is really ugly price action. Now the ES does the flip on the 30. So it looks like they needed to get into this unbalanced volume area just a little bit stronger. Now let's see if they make the move to this big liquidity area right here. Makes perfect sense now to me. But again, you know, this is the difference between the higher time frame confirmation and the lower time frame confirmation, which is it's a pretty big difference in risk. You know, you're looking at 8 points of risk. No. Yeah, about 8 points of risk. So almost a third, a little less than a third from the 12 to the 30. You know, you get some much better risk to reward plays, but the direction typically on the higher time frame is a little bit obviously stronger. But even this, I mean, it's kind of hard to even put a lot of faith into this move here. I mean, every setup has had a little bit of a jink to it. I mean, every single from the initial balance play. Which I guess if you're just targeting 15 points, you would have gotten your 15 points there. But even that, I mean, that's quite nasty. So on this 30, I would have entered in right here on this flip, which was a really strong flip, the 613. I would have then reduced risk to right, maybe a point above my entry, so I would have about 1 point of risk on right now if I would have taken the higher time frame confirmation. Obviously, I went in on the 12 right over here, short, off of this flip. The better one would have been obviously right here. So you reload one more time, you get a pretty nice risk to reward trade right here. And you could also say the same thing about this guy right here. So it's just been tricky. My money would be that they tap into liquidity right here. Also forgot to tell you guys, one of the rules for today was if I lost, that everybody would have to contribute 5% of their profits to make up for my loss. So I don't know if you guys read that in the fine print or not. Oh, these cash profits have been tough to come by. We did give away two Lucid evals this week. Gave a 25K Pro account on Monday and a 50K Pro account on Wednesday. Both of them have picked up their codes. So wishing you guys luck on those accounts. And I will say Lucid does, there's a lot of things that I really like about Lucid. They're the closest thing to Top Step with trading on NinjaTrader that you'll be able to find. And I think some really clear rules. As far as an affiliate partner, they treat us really well. So with Apex and Tradeify, randomly they'll give out codes for the affiliates to give out codes on their stream. Apex hasn't done that in a while, at least not for me. I mean, probably the bigger channels might get them still. I'm not sure. But the nice thing with Lucid is that as people use my code, they unlock codes for me to give out, and it's like automated, which I really love. It's not like I'm having to email my affiliate manager or something like that to ask them if there's something that I can give out to my audience. Lucid has been really good about that, and it's just automated. So the second that a certain threshold is hit, they unlock codes, and those codes go directly back to you guys. So I like it. I like them. And I think as far as scalability, there's nobody that compares to Apex. So I mean, I think you got two different models there, but I think those two different models can work for most of the traders out there. I appreciate that, Tiger. And I don't know if this is now a bad omen. There it goes. There it goes. I don't know if this is a bad omen, but I woke up with the thought of a 5 in the number. Thought today was going to be a 5K day. I really never have that feeling when I wake up. I don't really think about my trading profits. And gold had a nice rip here. Let's take a look at the levels that I gave my signal members while I cry about this trade here on the ES. So I've given my members a few levels here this morning. Well, 45.15 got absolutely blasted through. So that one didn't hold up for shit. Let's see, this one, where was it? That started off, no, it wasn't that early. Let's see, I gave this level, yeah, right, it was right around 6:30 in the morning. That was a nice reaction there. That's 7 points there, not bad. I don't think we were tapped into the 26s, we didn't. So 1 for 1 on the gold level. This one didn't stop the market. Again, kind of a classic case of kind of knowing what they're going to kind of come after. Like that big move that we had to the upside, it just didn't feel like that was sustainable with all this liquidity sitting right here. I thought the market would want to tap into, but for the early adopters here, I guess they got like me, got smoked there. But in hindsight, it was a good preservation of capital. Only 4 points at risk there, and I think I was probably targeting 10. Maybe more, actually. I'm not sure. But again, one more thing where the higher time frame shows you the bigger move. One of my Signal members said, oh, 5% of my current poultry, $86, barely enough for a medium French fry. I wouldn't be able to eat the medium French fries anyways. God, I haven't had McDonald's since November of last year. Which I don't miss, but I do miss their Diet Cokes. I mean, I was addicted to diet soda. I was absolutely 1000% addicted to diet soda. Like a crack cocaine addiction. That was the hardest thing. I mean, I gave up sugar, carbs, alcohol, red meat. I gave everything up in November. And the hardest thing was the caffeine or the diet pops. I was having like 3 of them a day. Wow, that is, I mean, that is nasty. There's got to be some news here hidden. And of course, this goes right into the entry and takes a dump. Those are the cleanest. The cleanest moves are always the ones that get you the absolute best reaction. How funny is that? How funny is that? God, imagine imagine being that close, thinking you're gonna tap it, and then it just does another fucking manipulation sweep. That is just... I gotta say, these are some of the grossest markets I've seen in a long time. Wow. Wow, super happy I didn't try to jump back into that one. But look at that. I mean, these are always the cleanest. The ones that don't hang around, they come right to unbalanced volume. They'll tap right into it and then reject. I mean, I used to have a resting limit order on there. You don't think that they'll still count that towards my TP? Towards my P&L for the day? I didn't really mean to take it off. I didn't really mean to cancel the resting limit order there. It was a ninja glitch. Yeah, I've been saying that now for a while. I mean, if you can, I said that to my Signal members this morning. If you can tread water during this type of market environment, when the market slightly gets even a little bit better, you're gonna absolutely fucking kill it. You're gonna kill it. Everything becomes so easy. But it's the traders that can hold off for that. White House officials are cautiously hopeful that the latest negotiations with Iran are making progress. So it's just a hopeful. The word hopeful made the market rip 100 points and just destroyed everybody that was betting on this thing going down, including myself. I mean, the natural area for the ES I thought would have been right there, but that's all it took was the word hopeful. No, on that, I think on this trade, let's see. I think on this trade, you probably, no, yeah, it was a tick off anyways. Look at that. That was a tick off. So Rob says Iran is set to reply to U.S. peace proposal on Friday. Yeah, that's exactly what they did, Rob. I'm not talking to myself in the past tense here. I'm talking to one of my Signal members whose also name is Rob, who I instantly like because he's got the greatest name in the world. And he's a great contributor, which I appreciate very much. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I think we all should just go full port on longs. Actually, take that back. Let's go full port on the shorts. Would have been nice just to pick up one micro here this morning on gold from the morning. Probably would have been sitting on about 3,000 bucks, maybe $4,000. It'd be nice if Apex released their hold on gold. find gold pretty easy to trade. No, I haven't heard anything from Apex. I think I checked that they've got a status page on their. Look at that! Just look at that move. But you know that move's coming when you miss an unbalanced volume area like that. That's why I always invalidate my entries on my signals and on these unbalanced volume areas. This is exactly what you always get. It's just the same playbook. And this is a good teaching lesson. This is what you want to see. It doesn't have to be this big of a candle, obviously, but what you want to see is going right into entry, not hanging around specifically TP1. If you have 2 TPs, which I normally do on my signals, let's get rid of this guy. Okay, this is a big ass box here. Let's see. Let's see if we can, let's take a look at the 120 really quick just to see. I don't want to be going into some negativity there. I'm not. All right. Let's see if we can fish for something here in this, it's a pretty big unbalanced volume area. I don't know why I got so many green. Is this IB high? I think that is IB. No, I don't think that is IB high. I think IB high was... No, it is IB high. Just give me a check. IB high is 23,664, right? I could probably close this up. I don't know what I'm doing here. That big. Let's just see. Yes, it is. Alright, so we got IB high coming up here. But before we get there, let's see what we got cooking. We got the 615s cooking right here. 615s right here. Alright. Got a nice little unbalanced volume area for sellers here. Got a little liquidity sitting right here. We're gonna have this box moving until this footprint closes out. I got so many improvements for NinjaTrader to be able to make. Some basic ones. Like on a horizontal line, I should be able to type text on it. Should automatically put a label on it for a number. I know I could put the label over here, but it doesn't really visually help anybody. This is actually a great target right here. If we can, let's see what else. What other targets do we have that look sweeter? Big target right here. I'll put these in green. Looks like they just got rid of... Nope. Nope. I mean, it's like we're off by like points every single time. Was there a flip there? There was not. Okay. balanced out my first TP, which I don't like them doing that. So Tiger, another thing too that I think would be simple, I could probably engineer something, but like I would love to see an ATR box for like the 1 minute and the 5 minute, just hovering around somewhere in the on the chart. Not like an actual ATR indicator, because I don't need to see the line. It just, I don't know, I like clean charts, but I think that would be a good little feature to add. And I would like a feature to auto center the charts constantly, so that the price action, the price line, is always centered, but still being auto like focused. So it's like, I know you got the focus, that F button at the top to re-center your charts. See how see when you're on a footprint and you've got a drawing tool, how it just moves because it's waiting for this candle to finish out. Ooh, that was almost a good short right there. That was a good short possibility. Got a great TP down there. Damn it. But again, I think they did tap into it. I swore that. No, they didn't tap into it. Why would they leave this here? They're dirty. All right, so I've got a secondary option here. Let's see how we can. This guy's gone. We don't need him there anymore. All right, so now let's see how we can kind of reverse engineer this trade here. Load this. We know they're coming after here. That would have been my short opportunity. So, and we target this guy. Oh, can't move him now. He's locked over here and God knows where. Why do you gotta be so dumb? All right, well, we know that. Let me just put this line here. That's our box. Let's just see if we could just take a simple long right back up into this liquidity area. Because I know they're going to balance this out right here. That's where my short would have been. All right, tap in. There you go. Now let's flip it. Flip. No. No, give me a little bit more. Come on, let's see that negative delta come in. Okay. Stay right there. Stay right there. Ooh. All right. Well, that one didn't work out. Okay, big absorption right here. Let's see if we can flip here. We can't. This is getting too far down now. I mean, they were literally to the minus a tick right there. Where the 500s at? 500s are down here. Let's see if we can get a continuation low to the 500s. That's the next piece of liquidity sitting. 510s might be a little problematic. Right here, it might be a little problematic. But let's go do your tap. I like the spacing that we have now. Let's go up a little bit. Come on. In a perfect world, we can get a retracement right into this 23,566 for a short. Come on, keep cooking. Come on, keep cooking. Let's just see what the 120 is doing. Yeah, so we've got sellers sitting right here. I would love for them to tap right back into here if we can. They might not give me that though. This looks like it's going to flip. I would love for a retracement back to this 566 unbalanced volume area from sellers. And then we could take a short. Your easy target would be the 551s, but these targets down here are also extremely in play. Come on, give me a little bit more. Give me a little bit more. Every single one is a tick off. I mean, to spot the reaction areas are simple. It's just actually getting to the exact entry is it's been the tough part. I'm closely monitoring the 120 as well. We got a lot of positive delta here. We are on a strong downtrend right here, so I'm looking at the 120 and the 60. I would love to get it on the 60 because I can reduce some risk here, and I would love to see us balance out this volume sitting right here. I say downtrend, but the overall day is down, but the current structure right now is still a slight uptrend. So this area might get swept. I hate to make this so big, but this is gonna be possibly needed. That is now the biggest unbalanced volume area sitting right there. All right, I can get rid of this guy. He's already been balanced out. All right, got the figure on the trigger. Again, getting in early on the 60 range. Probably better to wait for the 120. But the 120 ain't gonna... It's gonna be a little troubling there. A lot of positive delta here. Don't mind it coming up even a little bit more, but also don't want to be late on it. Okay. Giving me the delta here that I want to see. I'll put this line right here. This from here, from the 607s to the 578s, is a bigger unbalanced volume area. So if we can tap into this area, that would be even better. I'm also taking a look at the 120 range right here, the 120 footprint. If we get a delta flip on the 120, I will be entering in on the 120. But would prefer to get it on the 60 just to cut some risk, but I'm not going to get the flip here. I got to keep looking at the, let's see here. So the 120 didn't give it to me. All right, nothing to do here yet. Grants in long. Okay. Grant, if you're in long, that 23,613, man, that's your target. Much more than that is, you could get a spike right here too, though. You could very easily get one of those real big wick candles right here. Just not getting anything here. I mean, the market's going to need some force to get through this right here. I mean, it could do it. Just trying to think of the quickest and easiest ways for it to be efficient. And it's either the 509s or it's going to be the 613s. But again, they got to get through this selling volume. I just have not gotten any type of confirmation signal for me yet to take a short. No giveaway, Mike, yet. I mean, there's Negative 1,800 bucks, bud. No profit to give today. But I'm not done yet. Stick around, you might find out. All right, let's see if we get a quick 15 pointer here. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Hold on. All right, let's see if we can catch her quick 15 pointer. So you get stuck in the range here. We got the ES bouncing off of this area right here, though. Kind of need the ES to break through here. That's not the greatest. That's not the greatest. I might get stopped out here. We'll see. Come on, let's see a big absorption here by buyers. It could probably get me to target. I know the 509s look very sweet, but you can see the holdup right here. Come on, ES. And then granted, I know that this is now a very good sweep area. So they could just sweep right here to make the move down. I do carry that risk, but we'll see if we can get a quick little flush here. All right, let's go, sellers. Absorb here, yes. I wish I could show you guys book map. There we go. Absorb a little more. Absorb a little more. Let's go. Okay, they broke through there. Now let's see continuation. There it is. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Follow through. Follow through. I know we haven't seen follow through in the market a lot, but let's go. One little follow through here. Now they got to get through this. Very close. They just tapped into it. I need them to absorb, not to bounce. Let's go. Come on, absorb a little more. A little more. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. They still got a little more of the ES. Let's go. Take that last piece. No, I don't want to see. Here come the buyers. Let's go finish it off. Right, I'm going to go to break even just to... I don't like that move, but... Let's go. One more push I need from the ES here to just to take that down. Take that last piece at the 65s, ES. Oh, big buyers coming in now. That's it. I'm out. I'm out. Big buyers just absorbed. Ah, you son of a... God, this is so hard. So hard. We were close, guys. We were close. 4 points. 4 points. Buyers now are just, they're absorbing. Okay. Seller came into the market. Let's go. Let's go down. You got to get to those 65s, ES. Come on, ES. Don't do it. Well, guys, we gave it a valiant try there. Valiant try. This market is fucking tough, man. And they're going to come for the 65s, guaranteed. I mean, they're sitting right there. Hard game we play here. All right, let me take a look really quickly here at the 60. Let's see if there's anything here that made any sense. Stop was there. That's great. Man, not much more I could have done. Not much more I could have done besides hold my stop at the line at the 66s right here. Just kind of the way the market's been whipping back. It's kind of hard to be, I don't know, 15 points in profit maybe, and to see that whip back another 15 or 17 points against you. I don't even know. Let's see. Do I want to see it? Oh shit, 24 points. I didn't see 24 points at L. Oh yeah, like I said, we're 4 points away from our target. That's 2 trades today. Could have made the difference. All right, guys, I tried my absolute best to get you guys some money, to get myself some money, but markets are just not cooperating. They're being extremely difficult. And in general, it's a hard day to even say that you're seeing the markets right, because there's just a lot of mixed signals here. A lot of this is going to be painful to watch. And the 120 is giving you a flip here now too. Right here, if this closes red, that's a great signal. But oh well. I'm done, guys. I will hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I got a lot of shit to do this weekend, and we'll be back at it Monday morning. All right, take care, guys. Stay patient. It's really hard to do in this market, but try to take the best A+ setups that you can find. Take care, guys.